On my husband's birthday, I let the truth slip through his fingers, and he never celebrated again. The candles were still burning when he came home, 9 of them. 9 small, trembling flames over a cake that looked too sweet for what was about to happen. He smiled, the kind of practiced, camera-ready smile he used at parties, business dinners, and when lying to my face. He kissed my cheek, said my name softly, and looked past me toward the table. There was a gift box waiting for him, wrapped in black ribbon. I had spent the entire day making sure every fold was perfect. He thought it was a watch. It wasn't. He sat, unbuttoned his coat, and poured himself wine. Then he asked why I hadn't invited anyone this year. I told him I wanted it to be intimate, just us, like old times. He nodded, pretending to believe it. But his fingers twitched when he noticed the second glass of wine, the one across the table. He asked, slowly, "Expecting someone else?" I smiled. Not anymore. He didn't understand what that meant, not yet, but he would. The first hint had come months ago, a faint perfume that wasn't mine on his shirt. Then a slip of paper in his pocket, a hotel receipt, dated on a night he claimed to be in Karachi for work. At first, I did nothing. Denial is a soft thing. It wraps around you like silk until you forget you're being strangled. I told myself I was imagining it, that marriages are full of ghosts, old habits, unfinished conversations, other people's laughter. But the ghosts became louder. The way he hid his phone, the way he smiled at messages that arrived after midnight, the sudden attention to cologne, to shirts, to late meetings, and then the picture. A reflection caught in a car window, a woman's hand, pale against his sleeve. The image was small, blurred, but unmistakably intimate. He thought I would never see it. He thought I was still the quiet, compliant version of myself. He never realized how silence can be sharpened into a weapon. So I waited, watched, collected. Birthdays are about surprises, aren't they? For weeks I studied him the way scientists study venom. Patterns, reactions, triggers. He would shower longer, speak softer, guard his phone like it held his heartbeat. He deleted everything, or so he thought. But he forgot the cloud sync, forgot that the same account logged in on his laptop in the study. Every message, every photo, every "I miss you." Her name was Mira. He called her the only real thing in my life. I read their words with detached fascination, like watching 2 insects build a fragile web of lies. She wanted him to leave me. He wanted time. They planned to meet again, the night before his birthday. A hotel by the coast, room 204. I didn't cry, not once. I simply booked the room next door. When he arrived, she greeted him with open arms. I watched from the balcony through the thin curtain, his hand on her back, her laugh high and unknowing. I stayed there for 10 minutes, not moving, memorizing the truth. Then I left. I didn't need to confront them, not yet. Some truths work best when they arrive gift-wrapped. He opened the black box after dinner. Inside was a stack of photographs, printed, glossy, each one clear and undeniable. Him and Mira. Different nights, different rooms, same hands, same eyes. At the bottom, a note. "Happy birthday. You've finally given me something real." His face drained of color. He looked at me, not like a husband, not like a lover, but like a man realizing the floor beneath him was gone. "Where did you—" He stopped himself. I watched him fumble for words, for control, for any piece of himself left unexposed. He tried to speak, but I raised my hand. "Don't," I said quietly. Silence filled the room, heavy and suffocating. Even the candles seemed afraid to flicker. He whispered, "It's not what it looks like." I laughed once, softly. "That line," I said, "you've used it before, haven't you?" He had no answer. Only guilt, raw and shaking beneath the surface. He reached for my hand. I let him touch the edge of my sleeve before pulling away. And that's when I told him, calm, steady, without emotion, that I had already spoken to Mira, that she knew who I was, that I had sent her a copy of the same photos with a small note. He promised you the truth. I just helped him deliver it. His breath caught. He looked older suddenly, smaller. The man who once owned every room he entered now sat shrinking in his own home. He tried to defend himself, tried to explain love with excuses, but betrayal has no language that forgiveness understands. So I stayed silent while he talked, words falling apart in front of him. When he stopped, I poured more wine, told him to drink. He did, out of habit maybe, or desperation. Then I slid an envelope across the table, divorce papers, already signed by me. I wanted to give you something you'd remember, I said, something you can't delete. His eyes flickered, anger, disbelief, fear. Then nothing. I watched him crumble quietly. No shouting, no drama, just the slow collapse of a man realizing that the control he once wielded had turned to ash in his hands. He asked if I hated him. I said no. Hate was a luxury I no longer wasted. Instead, I thanked him for teaching me how to see through the illusion of love, how to become someone who doesn't beg for truth, but builds it herself. He didn't respond. He just stared at the cake, the candles now melted into small pools of wax. I stood, took my coat, walked toward the door. Behind me, he whispered, "What do I do now?" I didn't turn back. "You celebrate," I said, alone. Outside, the rain had started, cold, thin lines cutting through the night. I walked slowly, not because I was sad, but because I wanted to remember the feeling of leaving without looking back. For years, I thought love meant staying, enduring, believing in the better version of someone who'd already left you in all the ways that mattered. Now I understood. Sometimes love isn't about holding on, it's about unmasking. He taught me that. Every lie carved away another layer until all that was left was truth, sharp, clean, irreversible. When I reached my car, I checked my phone. One unread message from Mira. "He's calling me. What did you do to him?" I didn't reply. Some lessons aren't meant to be shared. I looked up once more at the house, the faint flicker of candles dying behind the curtains. For the first time in years, the silence felt honest. And as I drove away, I whispered to no one, "Happy birthday."